Right, today I'll show you how to make a pop-up mechanism for your card. Okay, so this figure pops up. You'll see by this, if I look at the side, the mechanism. It's a nice little sort of A-frame and it pops up, okay? Just do that one more time. So it's nice and flat, pull it up and it stands up. So you get these nice little figures that can stand up in your card. So, how do we make it? So the first thing you need to do is on your long piece of paper, I mark these off at 2 centimetres, 2, 4 and 6, okay, there, I'll do the same at the top, 2, 4 and 6, okay. I then draw 3 parallel lines. 1, 2 and 3. Now I need to make a little opening at the bottom where the tab's going to come back through. I mark that off. I just do it by eye. This is roughly going to be about 1.5 centimetres, okay. Make sure it's straight. I'll mark it off so I know to cut it out. Okay, then I need a long tab at the top. Now this must be at least 2.5 times the height of the square. Now the square, which will go across here, I'll just mark it lightly so you can see. I'm just going to make that 6 centimetres high. Okay, so that's 6 from the bottom of the square to there. Okay, 6 centimetres. I'm going to mark it across. Okay, so I've got my square. This is going to be like the front edge we have here. Okay, so we've got our square. Now I have to remove all of this and all of this. Okay, so I get my scissors and cut the square out first. This square actually makes slightly wider so the tab will fit through it, so I'll just cut a little bit extra off that. Okay, get the scissors right in there. It's all a bit tricky. There we go, I'm going to cut that out nice and neat. There we go, so I've got that little square at the bottom done. Now I'm going to cut these strips. You'll notice I've used a ruler today. You've got to make sure that this tab is long enough, okay, and you cut this nice and straight. 1 and 2. Make sure you don't cut off the wrong bits here. It's going to be a little bit tricky, just get my scissors in there. Cut this tab off. There we go. So, and keep these tabs, they're useful for later, so I'll just put those aside. You should end up with a shape that looks something like this, okay? So I'll just write the measurements in to help you out. So my square here was 6 centimetres. And it was by 6 centimetres across there as well. 6 centimetres across. Okay, so we have a nice little square. And the tab is obviously at least 2.5 times the length. So my tab is 22, so I've got more than enough of the tab. Now, this is the tricky bit. So we have our shape that should look like so. The first thing I would do is fold these tabs under. Okay. Fold the tabs under, and that's your first bit done, okay? Your first bit, so you've got these tabs folded under. Lovely. Now, next, fold this long tab over, and it should come out in that gap, okay? So just to recap, we fold the smaller tabs under, and the longer tab over, and it should just fit in that gap. Lovely. Now the hard bit, I put one more fold in like this, and okay, so it's a bit like it's folded under and round again. Okay, so now it should resemble, you should be able to get this sort of A shape. Okay, you should be able to get that A shape. Okay, so from the flat area, fold these under, fold this round, fold this under, and you should have this A shape. Okay, now we're ready to stick that to our card. You don't need a lot of glue for this. Simply glue the small tab and a small tab. Okay, then we'll stick it somewhere near the front of our card. There. Make sure you don't get glue on this tab. It's really important. I'm just going to wipe that off. It's really important that that can move freely, and that's why I made that opening slightly wider. Okay. Now you notice that this lifts up a bit. So what I actually do, that area that we cut off earlier, I actually make a little securing belt. Okay, and I stick that over the back. I do it somewhere around here to make sure it will stand up. Okay, so just play around with it until it's right. There. So obviously I don't want to glue all of it, just the edges. Just the edges. Stick that down again so that moves freely. Okay, then you have your stand-up mechanism. Okay, so when I pull this out, it's going to stand up. Okay, I'll show you from the side, and put it straight, stands up. Okay, and like that other one, you can put some pictures on there and make them stand up. Good luck.